Hi, my name is Jennifer Jennings, and I'm the Associate Pastor for Children and Discipleship at First Baptist Church in Marion, North Carolina. Many of you know I spend Wednesdays in the Child Care Center offering chapels for all of our Child Care Center classes. That includes 3 and 4 year olds, 5 year olds, and a school age program. Our school age students have been working through the book of Acts this year, talking about what it means to be church and why church is important and even what we do at church. My hope is that this will create an interest in our kids. They can put a bug in the ear of their parents and ask to go to church. Many of them don't have a church home or a church family. We are very fortunate to be able to provide that for them. As we've been reading through the book of Acts, we've gotten to the stories of Paul, his transformation from Saul, a man who persecuted Christians, to Paul, the missionary that changed the whole face of Christian faith. This past week, we read Acts 16, which talks about how Paul moved from a Middle Eastern context in Jerusalem and Israel into a Grecian and European context across the Mediterranean Sea. We talked about Paul's encounter with a woman named Lydia. She was a wealthy merchant who sold purple cloth. And yet, one day, when she was by the river washing clothes, she met Paul, and her whole life changed. She used her business to spread the gospel. She used the time and the talents that God had given her to share the love of Jesus. And not only that, but she was in a wealthy financial position, and so she was able to invite Paul and Barnabas and all of those traveling with him to stay with her in her home in Macedonia, to help fund their mission, and to start a church in her home. A couple of years ago, my parents were fortunate enough to go to Greece and Rome and Turkey, and one of the places that they stopped was Philippi. They got to see the river where presumably Paul and Lydia met for the first time, where the gospel was first preached on the continent of Europe. That's kind of hard to believe that there was a time when Europe didn't know about Christianity, because we associate Europe with so many amazing cathedrals, so many great thinkers, so many people that have shaped our faith. They also went to the church that was established by the Greek Orthodox to celebrate Lydia, to celebrate her faith when so many didn't believe. While they were there, they got me this icon of Lydia. This is in Greek Orthodox churches. You can see the Greek writing on the sides. It comes from the Basilica of Lydia and Paul. And they got it for me as a reminder that God has called women for generations to preach the gospel. And God continues to call women to preach the gospel. When I was sharing this story with our school-age children in the daycare, I asked them the kind of things that they would have in their church if they were like Lydia and had the opportunity to have a church in their house. They talked about eating snacks and meeting for lessons and Sunday school. They talked about singing and dancing and the music that they would have. One kid mentioned that he would have to sit still and listen, which is probably something that his mom has told him at church before. But these kids had wonderful ideas of what church is, what church ought to be. It's a community of fellow believers walking in faith together. Even when it seems crazy, even when it seems scary, even when nobody else believes. Lydia gave us that example. She gave us something to follow. So now it's our turn. And I wonder, for you, if you had a church in your home, what would it have? What would it be about? What would it do? And then how can we bring that to First Baptist Marion?